Hey everybody, welcome in to Invest Answers Crypto News. Quick update from the garden today. As you can see, my location has changed a little bit, but I just want to talk about some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. I know that many people are very concerned and very anxious, but I'm just going to go through all of the stuff that I see and all of the stuff that I've actually done today as well. So first of all, crypto exchanges registered a net outflow of 223,000 Bitcoin yesterday, and that was the biggest single day drain since November 2nd, 2020, I think, and all this data comes from Glassnode. So that's in itself very, very bullish. Now, let's talk about Wyckoff real briefly. As per my calculations, I think we're down 4, 1 left, but we could also already be in the accumulation phase. I'm not sure, but just seeing the action today, I did 3 big trades this morning because I saw things really picking up fast. I missed Solana on a great bargain dip, which is most frustrating, but hey, you can't win them all. Second of all, as usual, I remain very, very bullish. So that's the Wyckoff news out of the way, and the crypto exchange news. Third thing, MicroStrategy, you've all heard it to death. But the big news about MicroStrategy issuing another $400 million to buy Bitcoin is the fact that it was oversubscribed by 4x. Again, you guys know I have a thing with fours, and there we have 400 million. Oversubscribed by 4x, and 3/4 of that the 1.6 billion was apparently from hedge funds, because they have regulations where they can't buy spot, which means they have to buy proxies, and many people feel, like myself, MicroStrategy is the best proxy in town. Obviously the shorts are in full play, a lot of manipulation still happening as usual, no surprise there. Again, you look at the accumulation. I think 3 or 4 days ago, 50,000 Bitcoin were accumulated by whales. Another 20,000 yesterday. So who's selling? It's retail that's selling. No secret there. Let's talk about some of the country news, which is coming fit, fast, and furious. I can't even keep up. You got El Salvador making it legal tender, Bitcoin legal tender, of course. You got Mexico politicians putting on their laser eyes, getting with the whole Latin American vibe thing, which is so cool. You got Paraguay, Bitcoin adoption. They promised a big announcement, probably with PayPal, I think it's been rumored. So it's just nothing but goodness. India, the no ban stuff. Panama is now getting in the game with Paraguay and El Salvador. Craziness. You got states like Texas that are focusing on blockchain, and it just keeps on hitting. And this is what I talk about, this massive geopolitical game theory in effect right now. The second world countries that were beholden to the US dollar now want out. Obviously, the US printing 40% of all US dollars on earth in the space of 12 months or more, I can't even keep track at this stage. They're being wiped out. They are being impacted very badly by this. So that's a real issue, and they want another option. So these second world countries are falling like flies, and they're embracing the Bitcoin standard, which is so cool. Now you got Berkshire Hathaway. Speaking of Latin America, they just invested $500 million in a Brazilian digital bank. What do the Brazilians want? They want Bitcoin. So by virtue of that fact, I think Warren Buffett, the rat poison hater, now could be getting into Bitcoin. And again, at first they fight it, and then ultimately they fall, or whatever that expression is. So he's slowly coming around. He never invested in technology. Now he's in Snowflake and Apple and a whole bunch of other stuff. We all know about the Square mining use, which is very positive. Then there's the FUD yesterday about the FBI Bitcoin hack. So it wasn't a hack. Don't believe journalists that are clueless about Bitcoin and what they say. What's very important to notice, the FBI couldn't get into a terrorist's iPhone with a 4-digit PIN. How the hell are they supposed to crack Bitcoin? It's just comical, So don't worry about that stuff. But the beauty is, though, as I've been saying for a long time, is the open ledger enables prosecutors and FBIs and other authorities to track movements of money, which is much easier to track than cash. So if anything, governments should want criminals to use Bitcoin because it's so trackable. Anyway, on that news as well, yesterday we heard the Trump news. Obviously, Trump never liked Bitcoin, isn't even in the stock market, as he said yesterday, so he's obviously losing a fortune, and he's probably very frustrated that he's missing out on all these huge gainers. And this is not a political thing, but what he does want is, he does believe that Bitcoin is a scam, and he doesn't like it because it's competing against the US dollar. and he wants the dollar to be the currency of the world, which is very patriotic, and thumbs up for that. But again, pushing the dollar down everybody's throats around the world where you're printing it like crazy isn't really a good thing. So he's calling for kind of more regulation and everything else. But that's enough kind of Trump news. But that also had an effect on some retail investors who, the big money guys are shaking things loose. So who knows if this is one big orchestrated conspiracy to put Bitcoin in the hands of the super rich. So in other news as well, a special assistant to President Biden, and I think he's a cybersecurity coordinator. No, hang on a second. I think it's the Biden advisor, Tim Wu. He works on technology and competition policy, and he apparently has a large portion of his personal portfolio in Bitcoin, somewhere between 25 and 43%, and it's at least $1 million worth. And he's advising the current US president on exactly what to do with technology. So that's a good thing. We've got another champion influencing the government. So expect good things from that, which I just discovered. Related to former presidential stuff, special assistant to the president, cybersecurity coordinator under Obama, his name is Michael Daniel, I think. He said banning Bitcoin because of ransomware is foolish. Again, like the points I just mentioned. So a lot of people are beginning to be much more outspoken and piling on to certain things. Now, in a little bit of TA news, Raoul Pal, who's a very good TA guy, he's looking at what he calls the DeMark Indicators. And they work very well for him on assessing probabilities of where things are going to go. And basically, he thinks the weekly 9 on the log trend line for Bitcoin feels about right. And there's a big chance of a reversal higher. Again, this is bullish news. That is, we have bottomed out, according to him. Again, he did say, though, if it falls, it could lead to longer pain. But again, that remains to be seen. But he also said that Bitcoin appears to be mirroring its market structure when we recovered from the pandemic crisis in March of last year. So again, more good news. Obviously, the world is still accelerating their plan to launch some central bank digital currencies. Expect more from that. But as some people say, a CBDC is a dystopian financial network that is fully controlled by the government. So look at some of the rumors now about people being prevented from using their crypto within PayPal. This would be next level of that type of control. Anyway, as I always say, it's always darkest before the dawn. There is major confluence at 30k, and the max floor, in my opinion, would be a dip to 28k. But as I say to people, especially on Patreon, within Discord and everything else, it can only go down below 30k for a matter of minutes, and it's going to be bought up. It's going to be bought up by the sailors of the world, by the hedge funds, by the high net worth individuals. So don't expect that to happen. So if there is a dip below 30, highly unlikely in my opinion. I think we're very close to the floor now, around 32, 33k. But it could happen. If it does, it'll be very, very short-lived. So that's what I'm saying. All good from now. And by the way, if we look at those numbers, say we're at 33k now, it goes down to 30 or 28k, that's only 10 to 15% from where we are now. And that's nothing in the scheme of things with this asset that adds 200% per year on average. And finally, just to conclude, as Jack Dorsey says, Bitcoin is the only way out. And as Mike Novogratz says, if you're not long, you're short. So hang tough, everybody. Signing out from the garden. And I will be in touch with another installment tomorrow. Take care, everybody. We might see if we can catch some lizards or some birds or some funny animals before we go. Or maybe a coconut will fall on my head. Anyway, take care, everybody. See you soon.